Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for the Week 7 Monday Night Football game between the 49ers and the Vikings. I got two player props, guys, that I do like for this Monday Night Football game. Usually, for all these primetime games, I do try and give out two picks. Just stick to two picks, just because with these primetime games, it is a little bit harder to find a ton of plays to love unless you're just building out like a correlation slip. Then you can make like five, six pick entries. You can correlate those, kind of set to like a certain game script. But for me, I usually stick to like two pick entries for these primetime games, and I got two plays I like for this Monday Night Football game. So as always, guys, we're gonna talk through these two plays. We're gonna share why I like them. Before we do get started, though, breaking down the plays. As always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they do help you out, please hit that like button down below. Really do appreciate the likes, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, if you have never checked out Prizepicks before, you can actually sign up for Prizepicks. You can use my promo code Noah. When you do sign up, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code. And do want to give a shout out to Prizepicks because they do have a free square available right now. This will probably be like the last time I mention this, just because this does go away on Tuesday. It's for the NBA. As you can see, Steph Curry's points prop is set at 0.5. This is a free pick Prizepicks is giving you for the NBA season, which does start on Tuesday. And I will be covering NBA Prizepicks videos. I'll be making those all season long. I'll still be making NFL videos as well. But for Prizepicks, you can mix and match sports. So you can take this free square and you can pair it with NFL plays. Like you can pair it with some plays you like for tonight's NFL game. Or if you do follow the NBA and if you do bet on NBA, you can pair it with some NBA plays for the Tuesday night slate. It's only two games on Tuesday night, but still you got plenty of props to choose from. And again, guys, on Prizepicks, you can mix and match sports. You can make multi-sport entries. You can win up to 25x your money. It's a lot of fun. You guys definitely need to be playing over there, and especially with them having a free square available right now, that's something you definitely want to be taking advantage of. So make sure to use that promo code Noah when you sign up for Prizepicks and get your first deposit matched up to $100. But yeah, guys, let's talk through the two picks I like for this Monday Night Football game. Hopefully tonight goes better than the weekend treated us. Sunday was probably one of the worst days I've had on Prizepicks. Didn't hit a single slip. I played like four slips Sunday and didn't hit a single one. It was a tough day for me. These primetime games, though, they've been treating us well. We cashed on Monday Night Football last week, cashed on Thursday Night Football last week. Hopefully, the primetime game tonight can treat us well. But let's go ahead and talk through the two plays I do like for this one. We're going to start off in the passing yards category. We're going to be taking a look at Kirk Cousins' pass yards prop. It's set at 238.5, and I do like the over here for Kirk Cousins. So if you look at Kirk Cousins' game log this season, and if you take a look at the games he's played, the Vikings have played. They played 6 total games this year. Obviously, Prizepicks only shows the last 5 games, but the Vikings have played 6 games this season. Cousins is over this line in 4 out of their 6 games. The 2 games he went under, one game was against Carolina, just a really weird game where he only threw the ball 19 times. That's obviously very unlike Kirk Cousins, a guy that typically throws the ball 35, 40 times a game. Only had 19 pass attempts in that game against Carolina. And then if you look at their most recent game against Chicago, he did have 31 pass attempts in that game, but only 181 pass yards. There was, some, I don't want to say weather concerns in that game against Chicago, but there was some wind in that one. Obviously, it wasn't like the best spot for Cousins having to go on the road to playing in Chicago. Now Cousins gets to go back home where he has played really well throughout his career. And I think, for a guy like Kirk Cousins playing in a dome, playing at home, does make a really big difference. You might not think it makes a big difference, but if you look at Cousins' numbers at home versus on the road, there's a pretty big difference. And this is the case for a lot of guys like, Jared Goff. He's another guy that, plays way better at home in the dome versus on the road. So I think playing at home here is a big boost for Kirk Cousins. You take a look at their home games this season. Against Tampa Bay, he had 344 pass yards. Against the Chargers, 367. Against Kansas City, 284. He's been good in their home games this season. I know there's the narrative going around, primetime Kirk. Obviously, we've seen Kirk Cousins really struggle in primetime. But he played in a primetime game earlier this season against the Eagles. Even though they lost the game, Cousins threw for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns. So he was good in primetime earlier this season. What's to say, he can't be good in primetime here? I'm not expecting the Vikings to go out and win this game, but I think we can get, 239 passing yards from Kirk Cousins. This is a Vikings team that is a very, very pass-heavy offense. If you look at this season in terms of pass attempts per game, The Vikings rank third with the averaging just over 39 pass attempts per game, third highest in the league, only behind the Panthers and the Saints. So they're one of the most pass-heavy offenses in the league. And if you take a look at the 49ers this season, the 49ers are a team that a lot of teams are having to pass against, because this 49ers team is a very stout, they're a tough team to run on. They're good at stopping the run. And this 49ers offense is also very good. We're seeing the 49ers go out there and put up a lot of points every week, and it's causing other teams to have to play from behind, and they're forced to throw. So far this season, the 49ers, they're allowing the second most pass attempts per game. Like, teams are having to throw when they're playing the 49ers. And while the 49ers do have a really good defense, I just expect the volume to be there for Kirk Cousins in this spot. This is a spot where the Vikings are pretty big underdogs. They're like 7.5-point underdogs in this game, even playing at home. So this is a game script that sets up well for the pass here. If they're going to be playing from behind, if Kirk Cousins is going to have to throw the ball 35, 40 times, I'd like his chances of getting 239 pass yards. He's been significantly better at home this season. I like this spot for him at home. I know the matchup might not be the best, but I think the volume's going to be there for Cousins. And I was debating whether or not I was going to take pass yards or pass attempts. I don't mind taking the over on pass attempts at 36.5, but I was looking at some sportsbook odds, and they actually have juice slightly favoring the over on that, or the under on that play. So I would probably shy away from the pass attempts, at least for now. We'll have to see if the odds maybe change there. But I do like the pass yards at 238.5. I mean, if he's going to throw the ball 35, 40 times, I think we got a good chance of hitting this over. I don't see the 49ers, or I don't see the Vikings having a ton of success running the ball in this matchup, just because of how stout this 49ers defense has been against the run. Plus the Vikings, with Madison, I mean, he's been an inefficient runner this season to begin with. So I'm expecting a lot of pass attempts for Kirk Cousins here. And again, he's been playing a lot better at home this season, even though it's primetime Kirk, and there's obviously that narrative's going around. He can't play in primetime. I don't buy into stuff like that. So that's the first play I do like for this Monday Night Football game. And then the other play that I like, we're going to take a look at, is going to be Brandon Ayuk. We're going to look at his fantasy score. 15 fantasy score for Brandon Ayuk, and I also like the over here. So I want to talk about just kind of Ayuk's props in general, and let's take a look at what's available for him on Prizepicks. So his receiving yards is set at 70.5. His receptions prop is set at 5, and then he does have a targets prop set at 8. So he's projected to see a good amount of volume here. 8 targets is what Prizepicks is projecting him for, and that feels about right. That line feels about right. I do want to mention that there is no Deebo Samuel tonight, and I think Samuel's going to be out for like the next few games for the 49ers. So without Deebo Samuel, we can expect Brandon Ayuk to be the clear top target for Brock Purdy, and to be the number one option in the passing game for Purdy. And if you take a look at this 49ers team, and if you look at the target share this season, the target share has pretty much been dominated by 4 guys. It's Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle. No one else has a higher target percentage than more than 8% on this team. Like I said, Juwan Jennings, 8% target share. After that, it's like 3% for Ray McCloud, 2% for Elijah Mitchell. There's going to be, when Brock Purdy throws the ball, I mean, I don't expect Brock Purdy to go out there and throw the ball like 50 times. This 49ers team, they're kind of a balanced offense. They're going to run the ball plenty. But Brock Purdy's pass attempts line, I think, is set at like 27.5, or 27.5. If Purdy throws the ball 27, 28 times here, I think we're going to see probably 8, 9, 10 targets for Brandon Ayuk, just because you don't expect really anyone else besides George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey to get targets in this offense. I mean, Juwan Jennings, he's going to be out there for a good amount of playing time, but he's not a guy that really earns a lot of targets. Same could be said for Ray McCloud. The same could be said for Ronnie Bell. Even though these guys are going to get more playing time without Deebo Samuel, they're not going to demand the target share that a guy like Deebo Samuel would. I mean, this season, Deebo Samuel does have a 21% target share, so you take out that 21% target share and you kind of spread it around. You probably give Ayuk a few more targets, maybe Kittle a few more targets, maybe McCaffrey, and then maybe you see some opportunity for Jennings and McCloud and Bell. But I don't expect a ton of targets for any of those guys. Maybe just a couple each. I think we're going to see a lot of volume for Ayuk, Kittle, for McCaffrey in the backfield in the passing game. And Ayuk has been a really good receiver this season, shown a lot of upside. I know the game log, you look at the game log, obviously there's some red in here, but again, you can't really focus on last 5 games for Brandon Ayuk here. This is just a totally different scenario without Deebo Samuel. And if you take a look at this season not this season, but if you take a look at games in the past without Deebo Samuel, Ayuk has shown a really big ceiling. He's had some big games without Samuel in the past. Most recent game he played without Deebo Samuel against the Raiders last season. Had 26.7 fantasy points, 9 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown on 12 targets. He played against Washington, had 5 catches for 81 yards on 7 targets. He had a game against the Rams, 20.1 fantasy points, 6 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown on 6 targets. So he's got some big games in there without Samuel. Targets have consistently been there for Ayuk this season. You would expect without Samuel, there's even more targets available for Ayuk, and I think the matchup's pretty good here as well. This Vikings team, their secondary has definitely been beatable this season. If you take a look at fantasy points allowed to the wide receiver position, Vikings giving up the 6th most fantasy points allowed to wide receivers. They're giving up the most receptions. They're giving up the 4th most receiving yards. Really good spot here for Ayuk, and with more targets likely coming his way without Samuel, I think there's some big-time upside here. So I like fantasy score the most for Ayuk. I don't mind taking a look at some of these other props, though. Like, I could definitely see a scenario where he goes over his receiving yards, but, like, he doesn't go over fantasy score. I could also see a scenario where he doesn't go over receiving yards, but he does go over fantasy score because, like, he could catch a touchdown. Like, let's say Ayuk has 5 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. Well, that would be 16 fantasy points. So it's kind of how you like to play. Just kind of pick how you like to play it, I guess. You could also take a look at these touchdown combos. If you think Brandon Ayuk does score a touchdown here, you could pair him with Hawkinson or pair him with Jordan Addison. I like fantasy score the most, though, for Ayuk. I think this line is definitely a little bit too low when you factor in the volume he should see here, the touchdown potential he has without Samuel. And if you look at some DFS projections, this is something I do like to do when it comes to a site like Prizepicks. Since Prizepicks does offer fantasy score projections, I like to compare some fantasy point projections kind of around the industry. And there's a lot of sites out there that offer DFS projections. The site that I look at for DFS projections, they actually have Ayuk projected for right around 18 fantasy points. So this line on Ayuk definitely does feel a little bit low. I would probably have this line at like 16, not 15. I think it's a point too low here. So these are the 2 props, guys, that I like for this Monday Night Football game. Not the greatest game on Monday night here between the Vikings and 49ers, but I'll still be tuning into this one. I'll be sweating some props out, and I'll definitely be playing this entry. If I find any more entries I like for this game, I'll share those over on Patreon. But typically for these primetime games, I usually just play 1 entry. I don't go too heavy on these. But this is what I like for Monday night, guys. If you're going to be tailing me on these 2 plays, wish you the best of luck. Hopefully we can cash out this Monday night. I know the Sunday slate did not treat us well, had a really, really bad Sunday, but hopefully we can bounce back on Monday night. Got a good feeling about these 2 plays. And again, we do have NBA starting this week. I'll be making NBA content probably sometime on Monday, so be sure to be on the lookout on the channel. Probably sometime like Monday afternoon, Monday night. That's when I'll start posting NBA content for Tuesday. We'll have DFS videos, and we'll have Prizepicks videos going up for NBA all season. So you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got that notification bell on so that way you never miss out on any new videos. And if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to hit that like button. I always appreciate the likes, guys. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Pretty much talked about everything we need to talk about. Make sure, again, if you guys don't have an account on Prizepicks yet, sign up. Use that promo code NOAH. Get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, and take advantage of that free square that we talked about. It's available until Tuesday night. Steph Curry's points prop set at 0.5. Pair that with any picks you like. NFL, NBA, doesn't matter. If you want to pair that free square with the 2 picks I gave out in this video, you can do that. It's up to you. But make sure to use that free square while it is still available. That will go away Tuesday night when that Warriors-Suns game starts. But good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for watching the video. As always, appreciate your support. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.